And when it feels fake, you spend it like it's nothing. Every time I refreshed my dashboard and saw sales roll in, I felt invincible, like I had cracked life. But what I didn't realize was that everything I built was rented, not just the apartment, the lifestyle, the confidence, the identity, even the success, wasn't really mine. It belonged to an algorithm, and algorithms don't care how good you were last month. That's when things started shifting. My Facebook ads started underperforming. My winning product got saturated. I was too cocky to test new creatives. I doubled down on what used to work, like some desperate gambler trying to recreate a lucky hand. And then, one day, my ad account got disabled just like that. No warning, no explanation. Revenue, zero. And me, still in that overpriced apartment with bills stacked and a lifestyle I couldn't maintain without the machine running. I wish I could say I bounced back. I didn't. I spiraled. The first week without sales felt like a glitch. I kept refreshing the screen like it was just a bug. No big deal, I told myself. I'll start a new ad account, find a workaround. But Facebook wasn't playing. Every time I tried to make a new profile, it got banned. Pixel blacklisted, domain flagged. It was like the entire internet had turned against me. I didn't tell anyone, not my parents, not the girl I was seeing, not even my friends. Because how do you explain to people that you went from 20K a month to zero in a week? I kept pretending everything was fine. Still posted gym stories, still bought Starbucks, still kept the Gucci hoodie in rotation. But behind the scenes, I was selling my monitors, canceling subscriptions, ignoring rent notices, and refreshing my emails, hoping maybe, just maybe, Facebook would give me my life back. But they never did. I tried moving to TikTok ads, didn't know how to run them, burned $800 in a week, zero results. Tried launching a new product, a posture pillow this time, no traction. I was late to the trend. Tried starting a digital course teaching how to build a six-figure store, but even that felt fake, because deep down, I knew I wasn't teaching success. I was teaching nostalgia, and here's the scary part. When the money dries up, people dry up too. The texts stop, the invites slow down, the girls don't reply. Suddenly, no one thinks you're a genius anymore. You're just another dropout with a Shopify login and some expired dreams. I remember one night, I had $67 left in my account. Rent was 3 days overdue, no groceries. I sat in the kitchen, in the dark, eating dry cereal out of the box, and I just thought, how the hell did I get here? A month ago, I was booking Airbnbs for fun. Now I'm Googling, how long until eviction in California? It was humiliating, but not just because I lost the money, because I had no idea who I was without it. See, when you get rich early, people clap. They call you gifted genius next level. You start to believe it, but when it all disappears, that applause turns into silence. And in that silence, you start hearing all the things you tried to drown out with dopamine. You're not as smart as you thought. You didn't actually build anything real. You got lucky, and now the luck's gone. That realization, it breaks something inside you. So I did what most people do when they feel powerless. I blamed everything, except myself. Facebook screwed me. Saturated market, bad timing, the algorithm, my suppliers. Anything to avoid saying what I knew deep down. I
had no foundation. I built my castle on sand, and now I was drowning in it. Still want to hear the rest? Because trust me, it gets worse.
There's a point where rock bottom stops being poetic and just gets boring. You stop crying, stop planning, stop pretending. You just exist. My days blurred together. Wake up late, stare at the ceiling, scroll TikTok, microwave instant noodles, repeat. Wasn't even trying anymore. I was just waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. Nothing ever happens. Unless you move, and I wasn't moving. I was stuck in this weird loop of shame and nostalgia, watching old screenshots of my Stripe account like they were home videos. I used to be somebody, I'd whisper to myself like a ghost. Then the eviction notice came. It wasn't a warning this time. It was final. I had 48 hours to leave. I looked around my apartment, bare mattress on the floor, half-broken chair, stack of unopened letters, and thought, this is what $20,000 a month turns into when you don't respect it. I packed 2 duffel bags, left the rest, crashed on a friend's couch, didn't tell him how bad things were, just said, I'm in between places. Truth was, I was in between identities. I wasn't the rich kid anymore. I wasn't a student, wasn't an entrepreneur. I was just floating. I applied for a job at a smoothie shop, got rejected, tried freelancing on Fiverr, $5 gigs editing videos, made $60 in 2 weeks. Every win felt microscopic. Every failure felt biblical. And then I got a DM from a kid I didn't know. Yo man, I've been following you since the posture corrector days. You still mentoring people? Mentoring? I laughed. I could barely mentor myself. But I didn't say no. I needed the money, charged him $200 for a call, figured it'd be a one-time thing. But then he referred a friend, then another, then 3 more. Suddenly I was doing Zoom calls every night, teaching people how not to make the mistakes I made. And weirdly enough, they listened. Not because I had the answers, but because I had the scars. People don't trust perfection anymore. They want proof you've bled. And man, I had plenty of proof. So I leaned in, started documenting everything. The failure, the breakdown, the couch, posted raw clips of myself talking at 2 a.m., no filters, no BS, just truth. And guess what? That's when people started paying attention again. Not to the flexes, to the flaws. And here's the twist. I started making money again. Slowly, $400 from coaching, $900 from a group program, $500 from a speaking gig at a college business club. Nothing like before. But this time, it felt real. Because I wasn't selling hype. I was selling history, my own. And in that mess, I found something I never had when I was winning. Peace. But hold on, we're not done yet. Because just when things seemed to stabilize, life threw one more punch. It was a Thursday afternoon when I got the call. My mom, crying. My dad had a mild stroke, nothing fatal. But he was weak, couldn't work for a while. She didn't say it out loud, but I knew what she meant. We need help. And for the first time in 2 years, I didn't have it. No emergency fund, no backup plan, no magic store that could print money overnight. All I had was what I'd learned, the hard way. I paused everything, canceled calls, packed a bag, took the bus back to my hometown. First time in years, my old room still had posters. On the wall, dusty air, carpet stains. The Wi-Fi barely worked, but it felt like rehab for the soul. I spent 2 weeks taking care of my dad, making him food, driving him to therapy. And in those quiet moments, no money, no pressure, no image to protect, I started seeing things clearly. I had been addicted to speed, to growth, to applause, to that rush of being ahead of the game. But success without structure is just chaos in disguise. I wasn't a failure. I just built too fast on ground that couldn't hold me. That kid who made $20K a month wasn't a fraud. He was just unfinished. So I made a decision. No more chasing the high this time. I'd build slow, boring, real, brick by brick. I started writing, sharing stories like this one. Raw, uncomfortable, unpolished, and people felt it. Not because it was inspirational, but because it was honest. Brands started reaching out, not for e-commerce but for storytelling. You get how people feel, one founder told me. You know how to make pain marketable. Dark compliment, but true. And now, that's what I do. I take pain, and I turn it into something people can use. Not to flex, not to fake, but to remind people that falling isn't failure. Staying there is. Some months I make 4K diet, others, E12K diet. No Lambos, no penthouse, but I sleep. I really sleep, because I'm not scared of losing everything anymore. I already did, and I survived. And here's the part no one tells you. Sometimes, losing everything is what finally gives you yourself back. So if you're watching this, wondering if it's too late to come back from your own collapse, no, but you have to stop trying to resurrect your old life. That version of you is gone. Let it die. Build a new one. Slower, wiser, and this time, make sure the foundation can take a hit, because it will. Just make sure you still can. This was my story, but yours? Yours hasn't even started yet. So go write the ugly chapter. I promise. Someone's gonna need it later.